Hello, everyone. We're back again. Last podcast of the Melbourne Boat Show for the year. I know I said that for the last podcast, but this one actually is for real. I'm joined by Jonah Yick, once again, Tasmanian fishing extraordinaire, fisheries officer, science man, beautiful complexion and skin tone.
Keep it coming.
Just a
Keep
bit,
going.
just
Yep,
an
keep
all-round
going. You're on
legend.
a roll.
I've got nothing else, mate.
All right.
What else is good about you?
Oh, I think you did some of that.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll take it.
And we're here with Dave Jurisic from Bass Strait Lures, snapper fishing expert, tuna magnet, all-round legend. How you going, Dave?
Good, thanks, Dave.
Awesome. All right, so I guess we're just going to do a bit of a roundup of the boat show, boys. But Dave, while we've got you here, I mean, you're here with your beautiful Bass Strait Lures. Maybe we might have a little bit of a chat about them first. First of all, how long have you been making lures for, Dave? Why did you get into lure making, and is it enjoyable?
So, lure making for me sort of originated around 2 years ago. I've always been into tuna fishing. Love a lot of different skirts and lures out there, but I've always sort of wanted to make my own, something that I know is going to work, colours that I like to represent local bait. So, yeah, I started looking into it and different design techniques from Australia and a lot from Hawaii.
Yep.
And, yeah, that sort of led me into where we are today. A lot of my lures are all keel weighted, and they do have a lot of lead in them. We do get a lot of wind in Victoria, so trolling lures and having them track good in the water on a windy day without getting that belly in the line and blowing out and all those things is a big must, especially if you want to keep the lures in the water in these tuna space.
So I guess you saw a bit of a hole in the market, given that, you know, like you say, we've got extremely rough weather at times fishing the Southern Ocean.
Correct.
And, you know, some of these other places where the lures originate from, they're quite calm. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hawaii is pretty calm a lot of the time.
Yeah, they are. But
I haven't been there, but...
Yeah, but for some reason they seem to use a lot more lead in their lures in those places. And as I said, they just track better. They sit a bit more subsurface and bring a bit more attention to the lures.
Yep.
So everything I've kind of designed has been sort of related to that. And I've just sourced the best quality materials I could to make these lures. All the skirts are either Yozuri or, like this one, Blue Ocean Manufacturing from America, and Fathom Offshore. So I haven't skimped on any of the materials that go into these lures. Everything's quality, and I want them to last. Yeah,
no, that's great, and they're looking absolutely pristine. That first one you held up is it's a King Brown. Oh, we're probably not allowed to call it that because that's a Halco color, but it's like it is a bit of a King Brownie color, which
arrow squid,
which you know quite well, Jonah. A very successful color down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, I guess that replicates one of the main key bait species in the Southern Ocean, the inshore southern areas as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it just seems to be very, very effective.
No, well, that's correct.
So what other bait fish imitation colors are you finding to be the most popular, Dave?
The most popular has been a smaller sort of 6.5, 7-inch crystal.
Yeah.
Something around that size. That just represents a lot more, a better profile of the bait that's out the front.
Yeah, well, that's it. Our local bite, I've noticed, and I know this because I scoop netted a bunch of them, were these pilchards that are probably about, 5 inches long, 6 inches long.
Correct.
And that crystal coloured skirt is a really good imitation of that.
Yes.
So you've got a good range of colours these days to replicate a bunch of baits: arrow squid, yakkers, red bait, pilchards, always a popular one.
Yep.
And then for some reason, tuna seem to like eating things that are basically radioactive glowing sometimes too.
That's correct.
Bit of a contrast. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's just just a change of the colour, something different in their face.
So what goes into making a lure for people that wonder at home from the whole process? So you have to design the shape, and then so you make a plug. Is that right?
Plug, yeah. So I make a plug originally from I'll just cast a piece of resin first, and then I'll turn that on the lathe, make a plug up, make a mould of that, and then I'll use that for my moulds. Then I've got a mould for the lead inserts. Everything's then foiled with certain colour foils to represent that lure and to make it stand out better. I've used a quality eye in my lures, so they actually look like a proper fish eye. A lot of manufacturers out there do have just a red logo or just a red eye in them.
Hold that one up to the camera for us, Jonah. Can you pass it? So people can get a bit of an idea.
Yeah, the way I've just gone through everything as best as I could and try to source the best products to make these. There's a lot of hours in polishing, sanding, and actually getting them to look the way they are, but that's all part of the process.
We've had a lot of people walk past. They've looked at the lures. Kids love the lures, by the way. If kids were tuna, you'd be getting a lot of bites because the kids come up and they can't resist but grab the skirts and rifle through them with their fingers. So it's capturing their interest.
We have had a few hookups here, but
yeah, a few nibbles.
I saw one little fella this morning. He grabbed one of the lures, pulled it straight off the stand. His mum pulled it from his hands, and then he burst out crying and literally had to drag him away because he just wanted to get back to that lure. Yeah,
unbelievable.
That's it.
Well, we had this little thing with Dave a few months back where his young fella had been harassing a lot of Dave's lures. So I said to Dave, leave it with me. I'll see what I can figure out. So I made young Sammy Standing a Wiggles lure.
Yeah, I wish I had a photo of it. But yeah, so I said to Dave, because every time he sent me I bought some lures off him and he sent them out. Sam would get to them before I would, and they'd be all over the house. He'd be running around with them, and if I took them off him to go put hooks in them, he'd crack it at me. So Dave said, "Oh, what's Sam's favourite thing?" And I said, "Oh, he loves the Wiggles." So Dave's put the whole Wiggles tribe and logo inside this skirt head and sent it out to me
with Sammy's name.
So that's something you can do, Dave. If you want to message Dave, he'll love to make you a custom lure for family or
100%. Make any custom ones you want. Joey Fernand had a few custom ones made a few weeks back. I think there was an Essendon one in there.
So I promptly stole that lure off Sam, rigged it, and I've been towing it around behind the boat. So I just think it would be a cool story if I hooked a giant tuna on my little Sammy lure. So,
Sammy Wiggle.
So yeah, I've had a few people kind of come up and have a look at the lures, which I think are very well priced, by the way, and they take a step back. But how long does it take you to make a single lure, Dave?
Look, from start to finish, there is probably a good 3 or 4 hours per lure.
Yep.
In sanding and polishing. That doesn't include dry time.
Yep. And skirting.
Yep. So that's added on top of it as well. So, but they are 100% handmade, and anything you want, any colours you want, just shoot us a message on either Facebook or Instagram, and I'm happy to chat with you and work on whatever you want.
And what's the best capture you've had on them so far?
So a good mate of mine, Cody Carruthers, he got 3 bluefin off Barwon heads in one day on Crystal Slant Head.
Yep.
The first lure I gave him was in the water for maybe not even 30 seconds. There was a second lure put in, and before they could put the third one in, it had screamed off. That fish came in at 1:30.
So I've left one of your lime, is it Hulk?
Yes.
Coloured bullet heads attached to
Citric Hulk.
I've left one attached to a really big bluefin somewhere. So that one definitely works. I've had a few bites on your other colours. So they definitely work, Dave. And it must be really satisfying when you see
that is the biggest thing for me. The satisfaction of seeing people's response and just their happiness when they have caught a fish. Matty Hunt's caught a few fish on them, and yeah, it's just really good for me just to see that people are getting fish on my lures and they're doing what I've intended them to do.
Love it.
Yeah.
What do you look for in a lure, Joey? You're a lure trolling extraordinaire. We won't mention brands. Did I just call you Joey?
Yes, you did.
Oh.
Joey Jonah.
That's all right.
Well, it is Joey's ring-in for this boat show, so I'll call you Joey.
Yeah, I can forgive you that.
Yeah. Jonah?
I guess, look, for me, and you probably know what I'm going to say is
we don't have to talk brands.
No, not brands, but I'm just saying the first thing I actually look at myself is the size. And
Correct.
I personally like the 6-inch size all round. But I mean, the colours do come into it. But I just find that since tuna seem to like these outrageous bright colours as well as the more natural colours, I try not to get too fixated on them myself. I'm one of the few people where I don't really follow what the local fish are actually getting caught on. I sort of run what I'm confident with, and I just stick to that really. I never really change the spread up much unless I'm really struggling. But a lot of times I end up changing the distance of the lures behind the boat, not so much the actual lures themselves.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
tuna get shy after they've seen a certain colour or pattern after a while? Because every season there seems to be some new fad and everyone's running the exact same thing. Do you
I think it's just a social media thing, Dave.
Yeah.
I do. I seriously think it's just, what's in for that season.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I think maybe it's just coincidence because I found in the past, you put a new pattern, colour, shape out, and it seems to be successful. But and then it gets on social media and everyone has to buy one and everyone's running the same thing. So of course it's gonna
And so
catch more fish.
that's where I sort of think it sort of stems from that a lot, where a couple of well-known personalities have caught a fish on a lure, and then everyone needs to have that lure in their spread, or 2 or 3 of them.
Well, here's a science question for you, Jonah. How long do you think that a tuna or a pelagic fish can remember things for? Are they like the goldfish? 3-second memory?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. I have a feeling they probably have a better memory than 3 seconds, but whether or not they can actually see the lure, retain that information, the color or the pattern, especially when it's been trolled at 7 to 8 knots, and then sort of recognize it again. I don't know. I'm skeptical of that.
Yeah, I agree with John a bit on this.
I've heard it mentioned in the past. People catch a tuna that's particularly hard to wind in, and they go, "Oh yeah, this one's been caught before." You can tell it knows what it's doing. It fights dirty. It doesn't want to come to the boat.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
I don't know. I also feel that every tuna is different. Every tuna behaves a little bit differently, no matter how big or how small it is.
Correct.
You can have.
It depends on where you've hooked it.
Exactly, and there's so many variables. That's the thing. As a recreational fisherman, you get such small numbers of catches, in perspective, and there's always different variables. From the time of day you're hooking it, the tide. Even from day to day, week to week. So it's very hard to compare. But I mean, at the end of the day, you do have to make your own observations and then make some sort of a judgment call on that to repeat that so that you've got some sort of confidence, really, to run what you run.
I love your analytical mind. You look at everything with
I do. I
science.
try to be as unbiased as possible and try to take into account all the observations and other people's observations. But I'm certainly not one of those fishermen that gets caught by lures first, and that's probably also due to my frugal nature.
You're a tight ass, is what you're saying.
Some might say that. Yeah.
Frugal, tight ass, same thing.
Same thing.
So what's on the horizon for Bass Strait Lures, though, as we wrap up talking about the whole lure thing?
We're only going to go onwards and upwards with Bass Strait Lures, and I hope it becomes one of the more standout brands in Australia with some of the other lure manufacturers out there, and
Well, I know you've had quite a bit of interest this weekend, and from a few tackle store owners and everything. So hopefully that'll boost the business up a bit for you.
No, 100%. Yeah, it should be good from here onwards. So.
Any new shapes coming out?
No, look, I sort of try to stick to a few standard shapes that I know work. I don't want to have too much in the mix and just make it too confusing for people. So I want a nice, easy sort of spread of lures that they can put out in the water with confidence and not have to stress about positions so much. And
I need you to stop making new colours because I can only run 5.
Yeah,
and I just put them on the bait board and I just stand there looking confused for about 10 minutes, umming and ahhing. So if you keep it simple, then there's not too much choice for me.
All right, so we'll just run all crystals for you now on Davo.
Well, I know, but Mate, well, I need to do something because I've had a crap season. So
That
maybe
might
I will.
work. At least it's representing the school of bait swimming behind your boat.
Well, there is that theory, isn't there?
100%.
Run all the same
cruise
colour?
it with the King Brown, with, my small 5.5-inch bullet that I run behind Banger's Teaser spreader bar, the King Brown.
Yep.
And that's a 900 Tsunami spreader bar, and that's worked really well.
You've got
Out the
those
front.
cool little, like 4-inch
Yeah.
bullet heads that are
Nah,
going
they're
to be
5.5.
5.5. They're
Yeah.
going to be bloody awesome when we get our summer run of bluefin come
Yeah,
through.
and that's what they worked really well on that last year. So
Yep.
I found just run the King Brown deep diver and the spreader bar with a small King Brown bullet on the back was just deadly.
Well, I like it. All right. Well, that was good insight into the lure making industry, Dave, and
No, thank you.
loving the look of your lures at the moment, and can't wait to catch some more fish on them. So
Can't wait to see the fish you catch.
very much so. All right, boys. So we're wrapping up the boat show here. What have you thought about it?
I thought it's been great. I mean, the weather's gotten better and better. We started with a bit of a cold start, but this is the first time I've sort of seen the boat show with this new layout down in Docklands, and it's been good. I think you can sort of walk around everything. There's boats in the water. Everything's quite accessible and easy to get to. And yeah, we've had some. I think the best part about it for me has been the great engagements we've had from Victorian fishermen, even Tassie fishermen. Yeah, it's been really good.
We even got some cool new artwork given to us, some potential future hoodie designs.
We sure have. Exactly.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
you'll get them sorted for next year, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Sift through them. Yeah.
thought maybe you were going to run with those. Oh, are you
yeah,
going to
well,
give them to me?
Yeah. Yours a small fee. Yeah.
All right. Well,
No
thank you
worries.
to
That was Alec, I think it was.
Alec that brought those down.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Hmm.
And I know you're a bit of a food snob, Jonah. How have you found the Docklands eateries? We've done a bit of a tour to food over the last few days.
It's been good, actually.
What's been your pick?
I'd definitely say the pick was our paella we had. We had that for dinner a couple of nights ago. What else? We've tried Italian. We've had
Steak.
some steak.
Oh, the
Yep,
steak was
that's
good.
right. Yep. Had a beautiful dessert last night. That was what was that? That chocolate mousse. That
Oh,
was
the
really
fondant.
good. The fondant. That's it. That was
Yes.
really good. It's been quite pleasant. I still got to say though, the highlight since I've been here has been that breakfast egg and sausage roll roll, I guess, breakfast roll that we got. Where was that from?
Hastings, mate.
That was,
famous
that was
Hastings.
outstanding.
The little
Absolutely
food stop at
outstanding.
Hastings. You
Yeah.
reckon that's better than all the fine dining restaurants here at Docklands?
100%.
Well,
Oh, I hope
there you
they're not
go. There's a
listening.
good plug
Yeah.
for Dave. Dave will be getting free and bacon
Yeah.
for 6 months.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show them that.
Yeah.
The Pit Stop Cafe, that one is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pit Stop Cafe in Hastings, is it, Dave?
It's in Hastings. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, boats. Have you guys actually managed to walk around? Because I haven't.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
I know
we've
you've done a
walked
couple
around.
of toilet trips and come back 2 hours later, Jonah. So I assume
yeah.
you've actually looked at some things.
Yeah.
Some
Um,
lovely boats here this weekend. Absolutely amazing boats from fiberglass, aluminium, large inflatables. Yeah, so pretty much anything that anyone's in the market for is here.
I guess the big thing is there's a lot of flash boats that I'd love to have, but probably could never afford to buy or run. So I think realistically, I've still stuck to that 18, 19 foot size. Those Edencraft 565s and the I think there was an old Haynes 19R looked really nice.
Yeah,
really
I think I
flash,
did.
you know.
That red 19R did catch
That's
my
the
eye
one.
too.
Mm.
Yeah, very nice boat.
The Haynes 99.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't had a look at that.
Nah,
Yeah,
fully
old school.
restored.
Yeah, fully restored.
And
Just down the front
another standout boat for me was the Veach.
end.
Yes.
The Veach was an absolutely amazing looking boat, and the detail and just the build quality of that looks really amazing.
Yeah, for me, I've only been able to have a look at boats at night as we walk to the restaurants. But I'm with you, Jonah. I'm realistic, and I think about what I'd be happy to be running in the future, and I love something in that 565 range, and it's that little bit bigger than your Craft gunshot, and a little bit
Yeah.
smaller than my 6 meter Edencraft. Good in between size.
Exactly. I suppose the other boat I was sort of discussing with you earlier is that those New Zealand, what were they called? With the,
The
really
offshore?
sharp- Yeah, the
The
offshore.
offshore, yeah.
I am interested to see how they would perform. I mean, I'm used to being in a fairly tippy, tender at rest boat, but I do think it'd be maybe at some point it'd be interesting to jump in one of them and see what it's like.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I
as
did
far as
notice
stability
a bit
and-
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
they look like a bit of a bulldozer.
That would
be
as
me.
a boat.
That'll be me. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, they're for diving, I
Yeah.
guess. So
yeah,
And
to have a bit of-
8mm aluminium used in them apparently. So
yeah, that's what they told us. Yeah.
quite amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just be interesting to know how it performs side by side with my gunshot. Straight in, at speed in sloppy or big seas. I mean, the main thing is I like the softness of it with runs. Reasonable runs.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that boat is incredible into a head sea, I must say. It thrives in it, Jonah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to come fishing with us this week. You excited about that? Snapper fishing.
Very excited. It's been a while since I've caught a snapper, so I'm hoping that you can deliver.
Yeah,
And
what's your biggest snapper?
Gift wrap one for me.
Oh,
Right,
Jonah hopped off the plane one time. I went and picked him up from the airport, and he jumped straight on the Bark Usher boats. and he wound himself in like an 8 kilo red, I think it was.
7 kilo, I think. 7. I would have liked to
Can't
play
go wrong.
8, but no. I think we caught like 5 or 6 in that session as well.
Yeah. Oh, they went
it was
off.
on fire.
Yeah, it was crazy.
No,
I think that
very
was
good.
mid-November from memory.
Mid to late November, which is
Yeah.
when they're really hitting their straps. It seems like it's been a good start to the season though, so you might be in luck.
Yeah, it's been some good fish caught so far. So
You're one of the best snapper fishermen in Melbourne too, Dave. What do you think of the way that we're shaping up this year?
nah, look, it's looking to be a really good season. There's a lot of fish out there. I was out about 2 weeks ago, got one good fish and marked a lot of fish holding in areas. So when that water temp comes right and everything sort of comes together and lines up, it should be a really good season.
Well, basically sounds like we can't miss, can we? Basically
no.
a guarantee.
Depends.
Is that what you're saying,
Are you
Dave?
fishing Western Port or Port Phillip?
I don't know. I asked my guide. I like these sort of fishing because usually I'm in control with all of my fishing trips in Tassie. I'm stressing about everything, and it's just consumes me. But I like these trips. I can just jump off the plane and I just relax. I just do whatever and wind in a fish. Most of the time, I never even touch a rod.
Last time you came snapper fishing with me, it was like early October,
Mm.
and they were fully shut down for about 3 days in a row while you were there.
Yeah,
In fact, to the point where we caught an eagle ray
yeah.
on one tide. We then moved 5 kilometers away, and we caught the same eagle ray,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
same one.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit of a sign that the snapper aren't really feeding when that's happening.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think that trip we might have fished. I think I got off the plane. You picked me up. We went straight on the water, and I think we fished 15 hours straight or something ridiculous. Then you took me straight back to the airport. I think I literally
And
flew
you slept
over
on a steel
on a
bench.
That's right. It was it was not great.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
First
now,
class.
But, yeah, exactly.
Nice.
No, well, it's been a good start, Jonas. So I'm hoping that, but don't get your hopes up too high. We'll just,
It's
you know,
too late.
if I
They're
get you
already-
one nice fish, that's enough, isn't it?
One nice fish, I'd be happy with that.
You're right if I
7
wanted
to
it.
8 kilo. Yeah.
7 to 8 kilo. You should be right.
Yeah. Hey, if not, you can go with Dave.
I can't promise you anything.
No.
Oh, we
That's
look
right.
forward to that.
Yep.
We'll get some photos up on socials and videos up during the week of your snapper fishing session. And the other cool thing is, Jonah, you finally managed to give me the footage from your giant swordfish that you caught earlier in the season. So we're going to edit that up and make a video of it too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's just so much stuff to sift through. I mean, the good thing is we had my mate on the jet ski who was filming from from his jet ski, and then we've got my head cam footage and everything else. So a lot of different angles and cover the whole fight and the rough weather, which also makes it more exciting.
So for people who
Looking
don't
forward.
know, you were fishing out of Eaglehawk Neck.
Yeah,
It was March.
April. It was just before Easter, Good Friday.
And you caught a swordfish of how big?
289 kilo.
So if you are in the vicinity of our stall right now, we've got a Gayataku ink print of Jonah's big swordfish hanging up on the wall here, and it gives you some idea of just how giant this fish was. He caught it in an
Mega
18,
sword.
caught it in an 18-foot boat, 2 people aboard, 25 knot winds.
Yeah.
And the thing, like, what amazes me most about the swordfish, Jonah, is the tail rest on them and the thickness that they have right through the body.
Yeah, it was basically like a tree trunk, and it was pretty much thick from the shoulders all the way down to the tail, just like a trunk. Never really tapered off till you get to the rudder side of it. I
Yeah,
guess.
the rudder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I'm going to get that up hopefully on our YouTube channel very shortly. Looking forward to sifting through that one, Jonah. But
Yep.
that's for another day. So I think what we will do, boys, is we'll say goodbye to everyone here at the boat show who's wandering past and listening on the live feed on YouTube. Hope you're all enjoying the sun. It's been a ripping event once again, and we'll hopefully be back to see you next year. Might even get Jonah to come back again.
I think so. It was good.
Sounds
Good
good to
experience
me.
this time, I think. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
You,
good.
you've loved it. I can tell you've loved
Yeah,
it.
I
You
really
call
have,
yourself
yeah.
an introvert, but you've loved it.
Yeah.
It's been a wonderful weekend.
Yep.
It has been. It's just the atmosphere, the weather. It's really stood out.
And a big thank you to my beautiful wife, Madeline, who's there, still cranking out the sales. What a legend.
And Suraj. Don't forget Suraj.
And Suraj.
Suraj.
Suraj has been amazing.
Yeah,
He is the most beautiful man, isn't he?
he is. He really is. I mean, he kept us well fed. He helped out where he could. Gave us toilet breaks.
You
It
know
was
what you
good.
need to do this week? Don't worry about me.
Mm.
Go fishing with Suraj because he's been catching 6 kilo snapper off the rocks.
Off the
I did
rocks.
suggest that, and he feeds us well with his curries, apparently. So,
Let's yeah.
And red wine.
Can
Yeah.
we should do that.
We could potentially do that. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you flying back overseas again, Jonah?
As in overseas back home or overseas?
Yeah, back to Tasmania.
Thursday.
Thursday. All right. Well, Matty, I might not see you much this week. We'll be snapper fishing. She nodded. All right.
But no.
We're going to boys. Anything you
Dave.
want to add?
No,
Huh?
I
You
think
happy?
I'm good.
Loved it. All right.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
Yeah.
No worries, boys. Thanks for all your help. We'll be
Thanks,
back
Dave.
next year.
No worries. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jonah.
Signing out.
Cheers. See you guys.